This is the M3, a micro mini message to encourage, to inspire, and to ponder. Hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this week's M3. This Sunday we were in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. And in 1 Thessalonians, Paul is talking about what is God's will for our life. What is God's will for your life? And he very clearly says, God's will is that you would be holy and be sanctified. To be sanctified means to be set apart. It means to live fully who God created and designed you to be. It means to live for the glory and the purposes of God. And you know, we often get tied up in questions about what is God's will. Sometimes we go through things in life, and we experience the circumstances in life, and we ask the question, what is God's will? What is God up to? I don't understand. And often when we go through those times, we might even quote from Romans where it says, in all things God works for the good of those who loves him. And when we think about what is the good, what I often think, and I want to say, well, what God's good for me must be that he would give me a 2019 Dodge Ram Hemi 4x4 quad cab truck extended bed, right? Because that must be God's will for me, that he would bless me and give me all the things that I want. But Paul says to us, you know what? God's will, that which God will work out all experiences, he will work out for your holiness, for your sanctification. And some of us, we might say, you know what? That kind of seems like a bad rap. I think I'd rather have the stuff. Holiness doesn't sound like something to be exciting. But you know what? When God works through your soul and when he works in our lives and he goes into those dark places within us and he brings it to light, you know what it means? It means that we can sleep well at night. It means that we never have to fear or be anxious about what if somebody finds out. And it means that whatever it is that we carry in our souls, some of us have a lot of guilt, some of us have a lot of shame in our lives. And there are things we wish just wouldn't be that way. But when we have allowed the Spirit of God to come into our life, when we have allowed God's will and purpose that we would be holy and sanctified to be present in our lives, you know what that means? It means we're set free and that we have life and we get to live a life today. And we get to live a life of hope, and we get to share that hope with others and say, you know what, you can be free. Because God's will, God's purpose, and whatever happens, whatever experience in our life, his will, his desire is that you would be holy, that you would be fully the person that he made and created you to be. That you would live a life never having to fear, never having to be anxious, never having to have any guilt or shame or anxiety. But you could lay your head down at night and rest and know that whatever happens, God is on the throne. Whatever happens, your relationship with him, and you are absolutely certain of your salvation. Whatever happens, you are at peace and you have hope. That's his will and his desire for you. I hope you're having a great week. Thanks for watching the M3, and I hope to see you this Sunday. Thank you for listening to this week's M3. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe on your favorite podcast player. You might also enjoy our blog, The Milk Can, online at jumpingjersey.org. Have a great week.